Not yet ready. So, okay, thank you. Start.
Please take through the last two presentations in less than under a minute. So the goal, the problem statement that we started with was to design a photo sharing app between grandparents and grandchildren. So we knocked on about 17 doors to understand and meet our grandparents and our grandchildren, see how they function in their natural habitats. We made the work models, we did the affinity mapping, and all of that boiled down to our revised design brief, which is to design an emotionally engaging experience that helps grandparents and grandchildren stay connected across time and distance. This is where we also had the idea to maybe expand our focus to solve for their entire digital ecosystem needs and not just photo sharing. We synthesized all of that into our two personas for the grandchild and grandparent. But within that process, we also realized parent is a very important intermediary here, and we've also got to design for them. So we boiled it down to some behavioral variables. The challenge for us was to design one solution for three different users who rate differently on all of the behavioral variables here. And then we came with a big idea, which is Gupshup, our everyday assistant, who kind of solves for the entire digital needs of a grandparent.
So moving on to the product design idea that we had, we sort of start off with a digital device, right, with a matte finish screen, which is, yeah, so as you can see over here, we started with a digital device with chunky buttons. This has a super app sort of interface to sort of simplify the entire user interface, and it has different mini apps. Moving on, we are reimagining WhatsApp with a very easy to use UI for seniors, and we also simplify different features for albums and camera where these are integrated with WhatsApp and the entire uh, memory ecosystem. Right, we have a voice first AI assistant which also supports text-based inputs, and we have two, three other use cases such as medicine tracker, memory archiving, as well as different use cases for a playlist. It can also show notifications and through that send different kinds of messages and also allows for 3D immersive viewing experiences and also printing them as required. Basis the information architecture, we designed three key apps. Starting off with the
So starting off with the parent app, even though a primary user is a grandparent, the flow starts with an actually parent app. So we have the parent who has all of the controls for both grandchild and grandparent. So you can see your allowed apps, which basically means that how many functionalities does the parent want the grandparent to look or have access to. One of the key feedback that we also got is that how are we solving for privacy when the AI is actually accessing your pictures. So we have saved people as a concept here, where you are allowing or giving permission to the AI to only access pictures with a few faces, which will, in our case, involve the grandchild and the grandparents.
Also has other permission-related features on location, etc.
Then we have the grandparent app. One of the use cases that we're looking at is WhatsApp. You use WhatsApp to find a picture and share a picture.
Yeah. So as you can see over here, they're first going to find a picture and then they're going to share a picture. Next, we have the AI assistant where here we are putting a text-based input to play a certain playlist. Third use case is basically scrolling through the recent albums over here. Fourth use case
is that for a grandchild. So here we want to call out a feature of gamified interaction. So if you see at the corner there, you have who spoke to your grandma 4 times this week. So everyone's played like Candy Crush or those kind of games. We want children to want to have fun and want to actually connect with their grandparents. So we're doing a streak sort of a thing. Every time you complete a week, you get a surprise or a small gift. And then you also have like a 3D viewing experience here where the grandparent comes alive. You can also print it if you have the printer add-on.
So moving on to the entire section on evaluation. So based on the key features that we wanted to test out, we tried to take a stab at quantifying some of the key metrics. So we are checking for whether photo sharing and discovery WhatsApp is happening seamlessly. That's number one. Number two, like you saw, we gamified some of the interfaces. So we are checking if there's one meaningful interaction that's happening per day between the grandparent and the grandchild. Number three, we are seeing whether they are able to easily use the albums app to find a memory within 30 to 60 seconds with a 90% success rate overall. Number four, we are also checking if throughout the day, there are at least 3 to 5 touch points between different family members that are happening. And lastly, we are something a little bit more long term. We are checking if they are also able to actually use the gallery app to retrieve everything.
Dream state in terms of everything that we want to check for the app, but obviously we want to test a small subset of during our user testing. So we tested some key tasks that we wanted them to try on, which is playing music or sharing a photo album or the video calling.
Yes, and sharing it to WhatsApp. Yeah, so these were the scenarios we was. We'll not read through them, but yeah. So I think we'll spend a little bit time on the takeaways. So the first key takeaway, as we would be able to see over here, and as we'll be able to see over here, the user is is struggling to is only able to make a video call, and over there are
Sorry, can you move that?
yeah over here.
So the other scenario we asked them to do was to find a picture for us. Here they're struggling to scroll because the natural scrolling pattern is this versus we've given them buttons. So when we supported them in terms of what actually needs to be done, they were clearly able to do this. But the improvement required for us is to kind of give a natural scrolling function.
Takeaway two is I think what really worked for us, I think, was simplifying the entire WhatsApp UI, where they were very easily able to sort of locate and find pictures or do a video call.
Picture here. We asked them to share a picture here. So what happened is that sorry for the maybe we are struggling with technology today. We asked them to share a picture. Some of our sharing keys and the collapse keys were quite close to each other and they were struggling to identify which keys for what. Video calling was relatively easier because all of the other clutter from the app interface has been removed. Okay, so native language. So we had a native language screen ready, but we tested with an English screen. But every time we asked them to test the voice function, they would automatically speak in Hindi and not English. So we realized that this at the screen is important to show to them.
Further, I think last key takeaway is that all seniors across all the 8 odd users that we tested out the interface with, everybody preferred using speaking commands, right? When they figured out that there's an option to choose between text and voice inputs, I think that's exactly what you'll be able to see here, where they're putting in a voice input to share pictures with a certain individual. So based on these takeaways, we made some key revisions. We move the share button from here, given it was very confusing for them to identify to the right hand side, which is sort of a natural layout.
8 minutes done, last 7 minutes.
Yeah. Second, basis the natural sort of scrolling sort of usability that exists across applications, we gave them full scroll. Number three, voice-based navigation, we added signifiers over here so that it's very easy for them to understand that this is a voice-based input so that there's no confusion at all. And based on this, we have the revised application. We'll maybe not read through all of them, but it's the same sort of interface with the revision that you can just watch them. So over here, the user is able to click, search the photos and select 4 photos and share them. Next, yeah, here they're able to use the voice assistant to do a very simple command, right? So they're able to share an album directly without in exactly one place. Yeah, and there's also like a quick touch sent to the AI assistant. Number three, yeah, so I think scrolling albums easily, we spoke about it. And lastly, yeah, you can also use the assistant to play to do like English input to share play on certain pages. Yeah.
So future scope for us is we want to also test this interfaces with the grandchildren and the parents. We want to evaluate prototype like an add-on features that we spoke about, printers and maybe gamified interactions between grandparent and grandchildren, which are physical, even though it's over a distance. We want to also explore explore and check with the features like Kahani, which is journaling and medicine tracker, etc. Does that work as an overall elder care system? We wanted to check the usability and also comfort with a 3D immersive screen for a grandparent as well as a grandchild.
Lastly, we basis additional user sort of interviews and testing. We just want to figure out what is the justifiable threshold to have after building success metrics. So I think in terms of just the key elements that we sort of acknowledge the depth that actually creating an application like this would take. I think it would need a lot more user interviews, probably hundreds of the order of hundreds and thousands, and then sort of really testing out each of the
Wanted to end in time.
Okay, thank you. Saved 4 minutes. So first group to save. Okay, so since we have time, I'm going to ask you. So you did the evaluation with users. So who are your users and how did they? Acha, this sound has gone. Okay. So who are the users that you interviewed and how did they, like did they, for example, were they familiar with photo sharing, WhatsApp, or they were not familiar, that kind of?
The staff residing in the staff quarters,
Hmm.
aged 60 plus. Around 3 of them were IT professors and other visiting lecturers from other universities. Around 55 to 60 years of age.
No, my main question is basically were they familiar with things like photo sharing, WhatsApp, gallery?
Yes.
They were all familiar.
I think I think people who were using like lower end smartphones like auto wale bhaiyas and the security guard wala bhaiya and also the security AD, right? 3 users struggle with sort of even
Correct.
doing a simple task.
Correct.
sharing
So
of
photo
photos.
sharing and gallery, basically. So that's still
It's
not a solved problem. Basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I wanted to ask that. So yeah, I mean your buttons were also scrolling, but okay, that's a minor point. When you're scrolling, your buttons were okay. Don't like the word native language. Yeah, but I think it's nice to have 3 different apps. One other key question that came with that was that because you have 3 different apps, there is one issue that could potentially come is that people cannot support each other or help each other, right? So let's say if I want to tell someone, how to use, if I want to tell my father how to use WhatsApp, I can open WhatsApp and look at, acha, ye tumhara menu idhar hai, kind of a thing, right? Remotely, how can I tell or what? Either screen. No, I'm saying that these are potential issues of having multiple versions of the same app, basically, right?
But it's that just another app.
Because the parent and also has the controls to which apps are showed on the grandparent screen. So he can teach them.
Personalization is not a solution to this problem. Okay. So I think our owl has gone off, so I'll switch that on. But any questions? We have 2 more minutes. Any questions or comments online?
I have a question. So
Go ahead.
there was an input which you gave ki through voice they can share the photo album, something like that. Were users able to articulate that query well, especially grandparents?
So I think people were able to articulate the query, but our prototype was not actually taking in voice input, right? It just had a mock sort of interface to show some reaction to a voice input.
Okay.
Assuming that the input would be correct and in line with what the model can consume.
Did this, like the query was in English, Hindi, what language did they prefer? And did the system, not the system, but
But actually they preferred speaking in Hindi.
Absolutely all our 8 users actually spoke in Hindi, including the IT professors and the visiting professors. So that was
We also have
preference.
this language,
Yeah.
which you can type in English, but say मेरी याद आ रही है.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, thank you very much. They definitely saved 48 seconds. Okay, so the next group, I'm going to switch on I'm going to kind of work with this, but the next group, please come.